In this video, we will learn about the cyber kill chain. So the cyber kill chain is a series of steps that trace stages of a cyber attack from the early reconnaissance stages to the exfiltration of data. The kill chain helps us to understand and combat ransomware, security breaches, and advanced persistent attacks. Lockheed Martin derived the kill chain framework from a military model originally established to identify, prepare to attack, engage, and destroy the target. So as you can see, these are the 7 phases of a cyber kill chain model. We are going to see each phase in detail. The first step is reconnaissance, harvesting email addresses, conference information, etc. Note that we are going to see this chain from a point of perspective of an attacker. So the first step of any APT attack is to select a target. Depending upon the motives of the APT actor, the victim could be any company or person with information the attacker sees as a valuable one. Attackers fingerprint the target to create a blueprint of IT systems, organizational structure, relationships or affiliations, and search for vulnerabilities. So as large organizations tend to invest in multiple layers of security, this step could take weeks, even months. However, the more knowledge actor requires on its target, the higher the success rate of breaching the network. The next step is weaponization, which means attackers will re-engineer some core malware to suit their purposes using sophisticated techniques. Depending on the needs and abilities of the attacker, the malware may exploit previously unknown vulnerabilities, aka zero-day exploits, or some combination of those to quietly defeat a network's defenses. By re-engineering the malware, attackers reduce the likelihood of detection by traditional security solutions. This process often involves embedding specially crafted malware into an otherwise benign or legitimate document, such as a press release or a contract document, or hosting the malware as a compromised domain. The third and the most important step is delivery. The three most prevalent delivery vectors for weaponized payloads by APT actors, as observed by the US ProTech Computer Incident Response Team for the years 2005-2015, are email attachments, websites, and removable media such as a USB stick. The transmission and delivery of weaponized bundles to the victim's targeted environment is the objective, but these efforts arrive with some digital fingerprinting. This stage represents the first and the most important opportunity for defenders to block an operation. However, doing so defeats certain key capabilities and other highly prized data. At this stage, we measure the effectiveness of the fractional intrusion attempts that are blocked at the delivery point. The fourth step is the exploitation of the target. At this stage, exploiting a vulnerability to execute code on the victim system's command channel for remote manipulation of victims is the main objective. Here, traditional hardening measures and resiliency but custom defense capabilities are necessary to stop zero-day exploits at this stage. After the weapon is delivered to victim host, exploitation triggers intruder's code. Most often, exploitation targets an application or operating system vulnerability, but it could also more simply exploit the user themselves or leverage an operating system feature. In recent years, this has become an area of expertise in the hacking community, which is often demonstrated at events such as Black Hat, DEF CON, and the like. Step 5 is the installation. At this stage, the installation of a remote access Trojan, that is RAT, or backdoor on the victim system allows the attacker to maintain persistence inside the environment. Installing malware on the asset requires end-user participation by unknowingly enabling the malicious code. So talking about action at this point can be considered critical. One method to effect this would be to deploy a host-based intrusion prevention system to alert or block uncommon installation paths. Now, defenders must understand endpoint process auditing to discover abnormal file creations. They need to be able to compile time of malware to determine if it is new or old. Does it use auto-run key, etc. are the main features defenders should ask. Does the backdoor need to run provide access? Can you identify any certificates, etc. are the few questions defender need to ask themselves in order to protect the system. The second last step is command and control. This stage is the defender's last best chance to block the operation. By blocking the command and control channel, if attackers can't issue commands, defenders can prevent impact. Typically, compromised hosts must beacon outbound to an internet controller server to establish a command and control, that is C2 channel. APT malware especially requires manual interaction rather than conduct activity automatically. Once the C2 channel establishes, intruders inside the target environment get access to the environment. Let's remember that seldom is malware automated, normally this command channel is manual. The general practice of intruders is email in, web out. That is, they get through email and get out through websites. The trick for them is to have established the control over many workstations in an effort to exfiltrate data without setting off any anomalies. Hence, the reason it is essential to have the proper tools in place that can identify, track, observe, stop, and destroy these campaigns with your capabilities. And the last step is action and objectives. The longer an attacker has this level of access, the greater the impact. Defenders must detect this stage as quickly as possible and deploy tools which will enable them to collect forensic evidence. One example would include a network packet capturer for a damage assessment. Only now, after progressing through the first 6 phases, can intruders take actions to achieve their original objectives. Typically, the objective of data exfiltration involves collecting, encrypting, and extracting information from the victim's environment. Alternatively, the most commonly intruder may only desire to access to the initial victim box for use as a hop point to compromise additional systems and move laterally inside the network. At a minimum, the plan should include a comprehensive communication plan. Detailed evidence must be elevated to the highest ranking official or governing board, the deployment of the endpoint security tools to block data loss, and preparing for a briefing SIRT team. Having these resources well established in advance is a must in today's quickly evolving landscape of security threats. So we have seen what is the cyber kill chain. We have explored each and every phase in detail. If you are not clear, you can always post your questions. We will surely try to answer each and every question within 24 hours of time. And you can please provide your feedback through the reviews. We can actually get an idea whether you are coping up with the syllabus that we are teaching. Your feedback is our valuable input. We really respect that. We have also attached feedback forms at the end of each module. So if you have any grievances or if you are really learning anything, please let us know.